Many of us creatives have side projects, whether that's just to make some cash on the side, to keep our sanity, or to scratch that creative itch you just can't with your day to day job. But for whatever reason, sometimes those side projects bring out the best ideas. So today we're going to talk about how that little thing on the side often is the best thing for your creative growth. Welcome back to Sports Creatives Anonymous. I'm your host, Clayton Jones, a longtime sports creative who, my burnout scale right now, this is my second week doing this bit. We're going to stick with a 1. I'm feeling pretty good. We don't have anything crazy going on yet, though we do start media day for football this week. And so it's going to get rolling. Now is the time when that scale is going to start creeping up a little bit, I have a feeling. But today we're going to talk about side projects and how I really do think every sports creative should have some sort of side project. And I'll shoot it to you straight. I didn't have a side project until this last year. I started my own business and started some shooting on the side. And I've realized how much that's helped me grow and increase my skills as a creative and kind of stretch my wings a little bit. I was 20 years into the game before I started doing side projects. So, there's all kinds of things that we think about, like, wow, we're too busy. We don't have enough time. Where do we even start? Right? There's just so many excuses that we have not to do something on the side. And like I said, it doesn't have to be for everybody to do a side business or try to make money on the side. It could just be something personal, something fun, something that just means something to you. So I think stretching our wings and doing stuff creatively outside of our day-to-day creative jobs is just crucial to growth. And I've noticed it in the last year just with what I've been doing. So let's kind of start with the basics. Like, what do you even consider a side project? Myself, I consider a side project anything outside of your regular day-to-day job, right? Whether that's working on your personal branding, passion videos that may not even be involved with sports, or experimental content with sports, without sports, a lot of different things you can do, and maybe just challenge yourself creatively to do something that's outside of, if you're a videographer, maybe, attempt a little photography, go into graphic design, do a podcast. There's many different things that you can do to stretch your creative wings a little bit, and it always kind of gives you a better perspective on maybe even what you're doing yourself. It's important for people to start these side projects because particularly if you're not starting a business or if you're not comfortable starting a business, just creating, because it's a safe space for you. It's your ability to stretch your wings. I keep saying stretch your wings a lot, but it is to be able to creatively expand yourself. And there's no ramifications if you do something wrong. Even starting your own business, you're going to have a little bit of that, but at least you get to have more say than maybe your day-to-day job. So for myself, I've been thinking about starting something on the side probably for several years now. I've done some side things here and there, but nothing too focused. And last summer is when I really started focusing on it and started my side business, built a website, started building more of my social media, working on my personal branding. And honestly, it's been great because I've been able to do different things, see different aspects of things in terms of what I should be doing, not just to improve those things, but to also grow as a creator for my day-to-day job as well. I didn't really start thinking about a side hustle until a few years ago, and I still kind of dragged my feet with it and everything else. But finally last summer, I got it all together, decided, you know what, this is my time to start. This is what I want to do. And yeah, put together a website, put together my social media, logos and all that stuff. And it's really been freeing for me because it's just my decision. Anything that goes into it is up to me. And that freedom, I think, is scary a little bit because if you fail, obviously it's all you. But, as you grow, it's also a good feeling as well. I'm not as far along as I want to be, like I mentioned, but I do think that I continue to grow in this area of businesses, which is something I need to continue to improve at and be better and understand how to gain clients, how to do these different things. So it's a skill that I'm starting to develop very slowly, but I'm getting there. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, no, really, it's too late for me, or I just don't have the time, or whatever else. So let's talk a little more about that. I think with your side hustle, it's starting late. It's part of your story, it's part of your journey as a creator. And that's going to be the thing that differentiates us from AI or anything else, right? Right? Nobody has your personal journey. So using that journey is going to be a strength with whatever side hustle that you decide to do, particularly if you're looking to build personal brand and everything else. That's part of your, yeah, it's a part of your identity. I recently posted on my social media a quote from George Eliot that says, "It's never too late to become what you might have been." And I think about that a lot because obviously, somebody in my 40s, I'm trying to do this new thing, try to reinvent myself a little bit, doing personal branding. I don't even want to say I'm reinventing myself, but I think I'm more finding myself, finding my own voice, finding my own thing, and not just kind of hiding behind brands and wanting to stretch and grow and be more of myself. And it's empowering when you do have that side hustle because you could just do that. You could go whatever direction you want to go and take with it. And whether you want to make money with it and have clients, or if you just want to do it for yourself and grow that way. And who knows what will come of it, but it's something that's yours. And I think that's the biggest thing, is having that something that's creative that is your own. There's often excuses. Probably the nice way to say excuses is delays, in terms of getting that started and always thinking, oh, it'll be next, it'll be next. Obviously, I'm somebody who was very late in the game. I think I always felt like I was too busy. I didn't have the time. It's just gonna be more mental energy. I'm always so spent, anyways. Obviously, if you listen to my burnout episode, I was probably putting way too much effort and time into my day to day. And I think that's the big thing, right? Is having that balance. And I think having this side hustle helps you create that balance, helps you go, okay, I'm doing my job, I'm doing it well still, but now that's over, set it to the side, and now time to do your own thing for your own benefit and health. Um, there's the fear of failure, right? When it's you, it's on your own. And I understand that completely. I think that's one that also kind of, I was paralyzed by that fear. And even getting my business started last summer, I took way too long because I had this perfection paralysis a bit, right? I was so concerned about the how everything was going to come out, whether it was my website, my business cards, even my logo, my fonts, my colors. Yes, those things are all important, but I was spending way too much time on it. And at the end of the day, that was just me, you know, being fearful of failure. And I thought in my brain, I justified it as I'm going to control all the variables. But in a sense, you just need to go. You need to start messy and just go. And that's what I think I'm embracing a little bit more of. And honestly, for me, this has helped me tremendously with my focus and my ability to compartmentalize different aspects of my life and different aspects of my job. And it is important for me to do these side things. It is important for me to try to grow my business and have this thing on the side because I feel like it is a part of me that really wants to shine outside of that day to day, that feels more mine. And it helps me balance that. And honestly, I feel like I'm a better creator now for my day to day job because I do have that separation and I do have that ability to be more open minded and create things and do different things with my side hustle that I'm like, man, I need to incorporate some of that into my day to day. Or, and vice versa, obviously, of course. I've also been much more efficient with my time on both sides. And I don't have that perfection paralysis as much. And I'm noticing the quality of my work really isn't suffering at all. If anything, I feel like it's getting better on both sides because I am letting go a little bit. I'm not being so overthinking things and able to just let go. Plus, with that letting go and not over editing, over analyzing, over producing, whatever it may be, it feels more authentic. I feel like my work is starting to feel more authentic. Even doing this podcast, my first couple, I mean, I think I'm only on, this is episode 8, right? And My first couple took me so long to record because every single thing I was trying to perfect. And then when I got finished, it was just this, yeah, just this. I edited it and it just didn't feel authentic. It felt very like somebody is just doing this, this, this. There were no ums, pauses, whatever, or there were, but for the most part, I just cut it so lean and it didn't feel very real. It didn't feel very like we're having a conversation with just one person. I was so concerned about thinking to the masses instead of just talking to one person, which I hope you feel like I'm just talking to you right now instead of me trying to preach to a bunch of people because it is important. It is important to have that connection and that authenticity. And when you can start building that with your personal brand and discovering yourself, you are going to bring that to your day to day job. I'm hoping that this is going to start showing and that authenticity as a, for me, I work for a college athletic department. Hopefully, overseeing that, we're going to be a little more authentic, a little more real because we got to figure out ways to shine and grow. And to be frank, I'm just not that far into this side hustle thing. I'm all of 12, 13, 14 months. So I don't have a ton of knowledge to share in terms of how to grow your business super fast, how to get it off the ground, how all the things. I can tell you things not to do. Don't overthink things. Don't change your name 3 times like I did in my business and spend unnecessary money on LLCs, changing those names. Um, there's don't worry about the small stuff, the colors. Yes, they are important. Your logos, your colors, they're important, but often they're, like I mentioned before, they're an excuse to just get going and you're just, it's that perfection paralysis, right? It's the you don't want you're fearful of the failure, so you're doing everything you can, you think, in your brain to prepare for that failure or avoid that failure, but in really you're avoiding the failure by not even starting. So you just got to go. You got to start. That's my best piece of advice as I can for a side hustle, for a business. And obviously, if you're not even doing a business and you just want to create for a hobby and do whatever else, like I told you, I do that too. It's just to go, just start. Who cares what people say or think? It's yours. That's the best part. It is yours. The best part is you get to build these unused skills. Like I mentioned before, if you're a photographer, maybe try to get into videography a little bit. If you're a photographer, do a video. Maybe if you're one of those two, start dipping into graphic design, start messing with AI, start messing with communications and other aspects. Do a podcast, make mini movies, do whatever you want to do. It's your time to really build those skills and grow yourself as a creative, or dive deeper into what you're passionate about. Like if you're just doing sports creative and you're doing video, uh, dive into more stuff. Take a look and experiment on your own time with certain things. It's a great time to do it. The benefit of getting to dive into those things and experiment, you're just building your portfolio and giving yourself more experience and showing more a breadth of things that you can do for future employers. The mental health aspect to this too is phenomenal. You get that creative spark. You get it kind of think outside of where you're used to creating, right? There's less pressure. You don't have that day to day pressure to create, continue to be this certain person, this certain creator. You could expand your creativeness and there's not that pressure to do it. And of course, unless you're doing a business and then you still have that pressure, but hopefully you're getting to expand and be a little more creative in those aspects. And honestly, there's just through all of that comes more joy. And you remember why you enjoy creating because I think on that day to day grind, and I know it happens to me once I hit, fall's coming up. I'm going to probably hit October, November when that burnout scale I mentioned earlier is probably getting above a 5, 6, 7. Um, you tend to just start going through the motions and you don't have that creative spark and juice. And maybe, me doing my side business last year did kind of help me continue to feel like, okay, I want to keep trying something different, do some different things. And so I'm hoping this year with an even better balance of it all, maybe that will show itself even more. And both my everyday job and my side hustle, my side projects will both benefit. Doing these different things also is going to get you around different people. Maybe you get to network a little bit more, get to meet new people. that are also trying these new different things. I know I need to be better at networking. I really do want to build this community of sports creatives, even if it's just 10 of us, 5 of us going to get coffee and just chat about what we do. Because being creative or being a sports creative or just a creative in general can be very lonely. You're doing a lot of time, even now doing my podcast, right? I'm just sitting here talking to this camera and have this microphone in front of me just by myself. Well, I got my cat here next to me. She's down here sleeping and not being very helpful, but nonetheless, it is very lonely, and it's great. Oftentimes, I know in my job, I don't really have anyone I could bounce too many ideas off of. I hire some photographers on the side when I'm doing some video at events, and so I get to chat with them a little bit, but I don't always get to talk shop, I guess. And this is a good opportunity on the side hustles to be able to talk shop. And I think as creatives, I definitely want to continue to grow that footprint around here. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows, though. It's going to be a bit messy trying new things. It's going to be time consuming. It is going to take more time. It is, I want to say, hopefully it feels like a hobby. And that's how I take this. It's how I take doing this podcast. It's how I do my side business. It's how I feel about just creating anything in general, helping my wife's business, whoever, like whatever I might be doing. Recently, I helped her do a rebrand. So we did different colors and did, I designed a different logo for her. And it was fun. I was able to do something completely different. She works with pets and doing all these things. Okay, so hopefully you're feeling a little bit better. Like, man, I want to do this side hustle if you don't have one already. But how do we actually start without feeling like we're completely overwhelmed by it all? An easy thing is start small. Just do 15 minutes, a half hour, an hour of your day, and just slowly build it. I made the mistake of trying to do too much too fast and just completely invested myself in it. And it was a lot. And I started feeling burnout just from the side project. And I think that's what's kind of stunted my growth a little bit in growing this. Now I'm trying to set more of a schedule and do some things a little bit every day or every little bit, 4 or 5 days a week. And I feel myself with not as much pressure. And so I think starting small and just doing a few, like even if it's just one project a month you want to do, that's great. Don't feel like you got to go out and buy all kinds of new things either. Try to use what you have. Don't have too much of an investment into it if it's something that especially if you're new with it, right? Us ADHD folks, the joke's always like my new thing, my new hobby, and we buy 8 kajillion things, and then suddenly you're like, well, I'm not really interested in this anymore. So yes, make sure you're actually really interested in some of the side projects that you might be doing before you start going too crazy with the financials in terms of gear and whatnot. Side project is having to do with being on social media, posting more content, doing different things. Don't look at the views. Don't look at the analytics. It's for you to grow, not to go viral. None of my stuff's gone viral yet. I had one post do okay. But overall, it's a slow build. This is it's a marathon, not a sprint, to go super cliche on you. But it is. I know it's, most podcasts don't get to 10. So I'm motivated to continue to do this every week and have something, I want to outlast everybody. And hopefully I can continue to grow the community. I'll continue to get better as a podcast host, maybe become more entertaining and hopefully not so robotic. Kill some of my, vocal habits that I don't love, that every time I edit this podcast, that I just think, ugh. Every time I won't say them because then you won't be able to stop hearing them. But anyways, it's a time to just grow and learn and be better. And overall, I know this experience for myself, my side project, is only going to help me become a better creative at wherever my path goes down the road. And that will be the same for you. Having a good outlook on it, first you need to make sure you share your work. It's not going to be perfect if you're trying something new, and that's okay. Just getting it out there and feeling confident and sharing something new is the hardest part. And I know for myself, being in front of a camera, doing some of these different things, it's been difficult. Even, with just the audio side of things, difficult. It could be very cringe to hear your own voice. Just shedding those fears and shedding the harsh self-criticism and worry is it's a great way to do it by just letting your work go. Imperfect is okay. Messy is okay. Just let it go. Share it. Because I think once you get to the point of sharing it, then it feels like fun. You don't want this to feel like a second job. Every now and again, especially if you're setting goals for yourself, if you're doing a side business, if you're focusing on personal brand, you do have to set schedules. You do want to be organized with it, because I wasn't organized with it early on, and I've just kind of been like hoping, things hit, and I've learned that's just not the way this works. I need to get better. I need to do all these different things. I need to set maybe a little schedule for myself. Now, I don't view it as second work. It is something that, I set time aside to do. And it's not the same time every week, but it is something I want to do, and I want to be consistent and build those habits of doing it, and it's going to help me grow. My current side project, my side business, I thought definitely I would be further along than I am now. I might have had unrealistic expectations in terms of the growth, particularly with the amount of, I think the way I was trying to grow it was just, posting cool stuff and people just want to hire me. I need to be more proactive in reaching out. I need to be more proactive in marketing myself and building my brand and continuing to grow, instead of just putting out cool fucking videos and hoping somebody's like, yeah, I want some dope videos too, right? I need to continue to show why it's important to have great content for your organization, for you as an individual student athlete, for you as whoever. And me not explaining that or showing maybe my, experience in this business is not going to have people wanting to just reach out and call me. I need to be more aggressive. And so I'm definitely not where I want to be, but I'm enjoying the process. I'm definitely learning and growing by doing. And now I've set myself up a little bit more of a schedule in terms of creating content, whether it's this podcast, whether it's doing some weekly things on my social media, just doing different things to help myself grow. And I'm learning by mistakes, and I'm learning by failure. And sometimes it's not great to hear. I'm still working on being okay with being told no and not taking it personal, but that's okay. It's something I know I need to improve on, and I'll continue to do so as I grow as a business person. I've always been the person that's worked for somebody and created, and I didn't worry about having to so much, quote unquote, attract customers in terms of my services. So it's completely new to me, and yeah, 1 year in, I definitely learned a lot. So to wrap this up, here's kind of some of the big takeaways I hope you get away from this. Side projects are growth. They're a way for you to improve as a creative without feeling that pressure, to have fun with what you're doing. Sometimes as a sports creative, our jobs start to feel like jobs, even though we have this cool thing we get to do day to day and create for the most part, right? A lot of us get to create for a living, or at least most of our job is that. And sometimes even that, no matter whatever, it could start to feel like a job. And I think having those side projects definitely reminds you of the fun that comes with creative and being able to grow in that aspect. And, I think it's going to help you as a creative in the future. It's building those skills, right? That's something we want to do. So I think a good challenge, or maybe something for everyone to kind of think about, is maybe just do something a little different on the side this week. Do something that maybe stretches your comfort zone. If you're not doing any kind of side project, it's important to test yourself. So, yeah. And please, if you want to share any of those side projects with me, I'd be happy to promote them on my social media. If you want to email me some of these stuff, I am at Sports Creatives Anonymous on all our social media, and our email is sportscreativeanonymous@gmail.com. And maybe even, if you got struggles or whatever else, let me know as well. And hopefully maybe we could all talk it out. And I think that's, it's all a part of wanting to try to build this community. And if you have ideas of how we could build this community, please let me know as well. So I appreciate you joining me for this episode, and we will talk with you next time.